Hey guys, this is Nathan and welcome to the Gaming 4. Today in this map review, I'm going to be covering a map called Rochstolm, and this map was created by Miglo. Of course, if you guys are interested in this map, please check the link in the description and you'll be able to find it there. So as we get started, here's the general score the map received, and in this picture you can sort of see why we scored it, how we scored it. So anyway, let's start going over some of the strengths and weaknesses of this map. So first of all, this map is probably one of the most beautiful that we have ever reviewed. The landscaping and the natural detail in this map was incredible, and truthfully, it makes sense why this one is rated 5 stars on the Steam Workshop. So, I mean, very good map just out of the get-go in terms of looks, for sure. Now, of course, this map did have some downfalls, and we'll get to those in a bit. But in terms of survival, this map had a good amount of vehicles and a good variety in vehicles as well. So not only did you find normal cars, but you also found some extra, special sort of vehicles here and there. And the places they were located actually made a lot of sense. So good job with the vehicles, and that definitely really helped the survival aspect. Another good thing about the map is that it does include a lot of high-level content. Of course, if you have a map and it's not difficult enough, it'll just be easy the entire time. And if you don't have any high-level content, there's nothing to work towards. This map did include a lot of high-level content, and you'll definitely have something to work for when you're surviving. This map also included a pretty consistent, decent detailing. Now, of course, I say decent. It wasn't the best, but we'll get into that in a bit. But the nice thing about it was consistent across the map. So, like I said in a few of the other maps, even if you have good detailing in some areas, if you don't have it in others, it'll make the map feel real inconsistent, and other areas of the map will be pretty bad and kind of boring because there's not much to those areas of the map. Another really cool thing about this map is that it had a lot of cool, unique locations. Of course, it's a medium map. It feels a little bit more like a large map just compared to PEI because there's a lot of land space, and because of that, Miglo was able to fit in a lot of really cool, unique locations. He used a lot of objects in really cool ways that were a little more creative than just using them as is, and because of this, he ended up with a pretty interesting map. Another good thing in terms of survival is that Miglo did include a lot of useful item drops. So in the past, we've played some maps, and the item drops are there, but they're not exactly the most useful, and you're missing some key items, such as maybe like a blowtorch, carjack, stuff like that, and Miglo definitely included a lot of good item spawns. He included a lot of variety as well, so not only did you find some mechanic stuff, there's also a good amount of food and clothing and just overall gear. Now, he did miss a few things, and I'll talk about those in just a little bit. So overall, there's not that much to say about the strengths of the maps, but the main thing is this map is just completely beautiful. Like, the nature and the detailing that went into the natural side of this map is amazing. So even if you don't check it out to play the survival part of this map, definitely check it out to just see it, because it is actually just amazing. And really the best way for you guys to appreciate this is to just see it yourself. So of course, link in the description if you guys want to go check it out. I would definitely suggest it. So now let's move on to some of the weaknesses of the map. Now, this map did have quite a few weaknesses, and yet it is still one of the higher rated maps that we've reviewed so far. That is because the strengths definitely sort of balanced out with the weaknesses. So as we get into them, you'll sort of understand why it's rated the way it is. So one of the main weaknesses this map had, more of a general weakness, is that it was not very suited towards survival. So, some maps are definitely easy to survive on, such as PEI, stuff like that. Other maps are not as easy to survive on, but are still meant for survival, such as Yukon. It's still very difficult, but you could still survive on it. This map felt more like a decorative map. Obviously, there were survival aspects to it. There were zombie spawns, item spawns, player spawns, car spawns, everything that has to go into survival. But because of the way the map was designed, it makes it really hard when you try to start surviving on it. First of all, because the terrain was so complex, it makes it really hard to cross the map. So there's a lot of mountains and a lot of hills and a lot of custom rocks that were placed down. These are all good looking, but when it comes to actually crossing the map, taking a car across the terrain is pretty much impossible without flipping it, and when you do it by foot, it just takes a long time. Another thing that sort of takes away from the survivability of this map is that there's a lack of berry bushes or natural animal spawns. Not having these things makes surviving naturally a lot harder. It pretty much makes the player search out for those towns and consistently raid them for the supplies they need to survive. Another thing that was missing that doesn't necessarily hurt the map was ore spawns, just for some of that natural metal. One thing this map did have was plenty of metal throughout the city areas that you could raid for. But, not having those ore spawns also kind of takes away from the natural survival part of this map. One of the last things that sort of took away from this map as well is that there were not enough gun spawns. Now, it sounds weird, you don't necessarily need gun spawns to survive, but it really helps when it comes to higher level content. Now, normally, you can get away with having just a knife and maybe some overkill in terms of your skill points, and you'll be just fine. But when it comes to fighting a mega zombie, that really does not do. Also, another thing that guns help with is spitter zombies and fire zombies. Now, something you guys should keep in mind is that we do play these maps on normal, which means it is pretty difficult for us. It's not like it's easy. We have to worry about durability and quality of food. And something we've been noticing is that not a lot of maps have been built with normal difficulty in mind, which is kind of too bad because normal is supposed to be the standard difficulty. Easy is supposed to be the same version of that difficulty except just a lot easier. So we do play these on normal, and that's why these sort of things matter to us, because having an automatic gun or an automatic weapon is very important when it comes to fighting hordes of zombies, and especially the mega zombie itself. Along with the lack of guns and lack of automatic guns, there was also a lack of consistent ammo. We did find a decent amount of civilian ammo, but that's pretty much it. I mean, I think there were locations with military and ranger ammo. There just were not enough military and ranger ammo to sustain having an automatic weapon. And the last thing that we sort of found out about the map that was pretty bad actually is that we couldn't find any sort of map or GPS. Now, of course, it's up to your opinion whether they're necessary for survival, but because this map was pretty complicated, the terrain was definitely detailed and complicated, it would have taken us a long time to become familiar enough with it so that we could have found our way around. So finding either a map or a GPS right off the bat or somewhat soon would have really helped us with surviving, because if you die, which is pretty much inevitable in this map, you have to be able to find your stuff in order to continue getting better, within the map itself. Otherwise, you got to start over from zero and your stuff will despawn when you log off. So, those are some of the things that we found issues with the map. Not too much else to mention about it. Maybe, Miglo, you could have added some more food spawns. Of course, we were playing this on normal, so not all the food we were finding was good quality. But, just consider putting a little more food spawns consistently throughout the map, and that pretty much would have fixed most of the things with the survival aspect. Besides that, this map was really, really freaking good. So anyway, guys, here's the general score that the map got again. Hopefully you guys will check this out for yourselves. Definitely a good map, definitely worth playing as well. Anyway, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Please stay tuned for some more map reviews. Of course, if you guys have some maps that you want us to review, please let us know and send us the links to those. We do only want to review mostly finished or completed maps though, because we want to make sure that your map gets the best review possible. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching. Please like the video if you enjoyed it, and please subscribe if you want to see some more. I will see you all